I'm just propagating some basil. I have a big basil project coming up, so I wanted to have a lot of it on hand. Well, in case you stumbled back here and you don't know who I am or where you are, I'm April with Homesteadin In The City. And, you know, my friend Zach, he always is giving, he lives down the street, and he's always giving tours of his garden. So, since you're here, do you want to take a tour of mine? I figure it's about time. Let's go. Here are just some things that I have potted up. One of my goals back here is to have tons and tons of muscadines. These are scuppernongs specifically. I love them. And so last year I just spit seeds out all over the place, so they're coming up everywhere, and now I'm trying to find them and will eventually have them on fences and everything. Here's my friend the fig tree. This is Figgy. Figgy has been doing wonderful. I'll tell you a story about Figgy. Whenever he was here, whenever I first got this house years ago, and was very small, didn't produce figs. So one time I said, if you don't start producing, I'm just gonna cut you down. And sure enough, the next year we have figs. But now look at him. I'm so glad that it didn't cut him down. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I didn't know anything. I still don't know much, but it's looking like we're gonna have a good crop of figs this year. And then over here we have some mint, some balloon flowers. They've yet to flower, and I really need to repot them. They've gotten big. And then we had some onions, and yeah, so all that's going on. There's Cleo the cat. And as you can tell, I had a mulch delivery a couple of years ago. I don't have as much mulch as Zach, but I did have all my pine trees removed. I think it was 5 pine trees. And so I told them, leave the mulch, leave the wood, and I'll figure out what to do with it. And so I've been figuring out what to do with it. Along this line, I'm trying to do some thornless blackberries. And so only 1 out of the 4 plants that I bought is not making it. So I think 3 out of 4 is not bad. Here's just where I've been doing some experiments to see how tomatoes would do if they were planted upside down. And so I do have this one. I don't even know what kind it is. Somebody gave me the plant. Looks like maybe a little cherry tomato. It is actually coming in, but so far this is not the most effective way. But I wanted to try it. There's a lot of the pine. I've gotten really into chopping wood. It's very therapeutic. Once I got a really good axe, a wood splitting axe. And so here's some more onion. I decided to try them in different places to see how they would do in different spots of the yard. And then, as you can see, more of the muscadine vines are coming in. That was one that was planted a while back. This is my berm. I'm trying to just grow. I was trying to get rid of some of the wood, so there's logs underneath that, and then soil and mulch on top. And I planted a lot of wildflowers. I planted some thyme. We have more muscadines coming in. There's some of my chaotic gardening. I haven't gotten all of the stuff there. I forgot what the seeds were, so I just planted them in pans. We have a little real YouTube short about it if you want to see. Then I think these are some melons that are coming in, but mainly this was just to have like wild grasses, wild flowers, whatever would grow on here. And it's pretty, and I've enjoyed this little section over here. Here's my shed. This part of the shed has the garden tools and all of that. But then over in here is my she shed, and I don't have my keys with me to let you in, so if you want to see the she shed, let me know. I'll take you on a tour later. And then here are some citrus plants, citrus trees that I planted from seed a few years ago. So I think it's lemon and grapefruit. I've forgotten which is which. So hopefully they'll produce one day and we'll find out. but I haven't been very good at taking care of them over the winter, so that's kind of why they're a little yellowy. Alright, we have the pergola, and of course around the pergola is really where I want to have more of those muscadines coming in. This is one that I planted a couple years ago. He's doing nice, starting to come up the poles. Back here, as you can see, this is the ugly part right now, but this wooden fence that has been here since I moved into the house has been falling down, and my friend Chris at CNC Property Care is going to come with his crew. They're going to take out the fence, clear out the vines, all this stuff that is kind of voluntarily grown. We'll probably keep the trees, but hopefully take out some of the vines and the stuff that's just part of living in Cayce, I think. But yeah, here's been my wood chopping station. I've got to move all this out of the way so Chris can get back here. We just had a little project there. And then over here, I built some beds with some of the logs from the pine trees and used a lot of the mulch. And so we have tomatoes. I think these are purple Cherokee. And then we have over here, I'm excited about this. I'm going to harvest this one soon. This is a dragonfly pepper. It's a bell pepper, but it's purple. And I bought it just because it was purple. And so, oh look, we have a little tomato coming in. Look at that, that's always so exciting. Can we focus on that tomato? Yeah. I'm really excited to see. I get every time, it doesn't matter how many times you get things to fruit, it's just exciting to see actual growth, because I've been at this for a little while now, and honestly I've had a very hard time getting the soil to where it needs to be, and it's still not all where it needs to be, but actually getting things to grow. So when I see it growing, I get so excited. Then this is my little project, just my experiment with a wheat patch, and my cat Cleo, who's stalking something over there. You probably can't see her. She's over through the pomegranate tree there. She's stalking. She loves to hang out in the wheat patch and eat it, so the chances of me being able to harvest wheat are slim. This was a little bit I built out of pallets, mostly dewberries taken over. This was a little plant, I forgot the name of it, I bought it at a plant sale, but they prefer a little bit more shade, and I just think they're cool because they're fuzzy. Got oregano growing. This is supposed to be goji berry, but I think I waited too long to plant those guys, so I don't think anything's coming up. Eventually some of this stuff will get planted out more. We have things to keep away mosquitoes. We have our herbs, more little pomegranate trees from seed, sage, avocado that I don't take care of over the winter, so it dies back and grows back every year. Have some fennel I got at the plant swap, so if you are in Cayce and you brought fennel to the plant swap, here it is. It's about to go to seed. I'm going to collect the seeds. We got aloe. This will be toothache plant. I'm excited. I love those. They're just fun. We have bergamot. Looks like we're about to get some flowers from the bergamot. Pineapple sage. More tomatoes. This was one I propagated right there. I did a reel about that. So hopefully, hopefully that tomato will grow. And yeah, I moved these guys to give them more space, so they're a little shocked, but they seem to be coming back. I think, what kind of tomato was this one? A Brandywine. So these are Brandywines. We have the rosemary over there. I've planted several elderberry trees down here. I did that this year. And then we have a banana tree. And so I'm hoping that the elderberries will grow up and out, and maybe even we can vine all of these muscadines into maybe a little tunnel. That would be cool. Then we have more onions, because again, I said I was trying them in different places. That's some kale that's just kind of been here for a couple years. And then I have more onions in here, but I harvested those. Then we have our strawberry patch. And I actually, oh look, there's one right there. I actually had strawberries I could eat. It wasn't a huge abundance, but it was more than last year. And honestly, that's my goal with everything. Just do a little better than last year. So squash coming in, I planted those directly from seed. Squirrels got some of them, so there's not as many. More tomatoes, sweet peppers, but yeah, that guy's coming in nicely. Another loquat tree, pomegranate tree. I planted this guy from seed back in like 2019, 2020. And, oh yeah, I'll show you my mimosa tree. This tree's special because I loved these trees growing up. I thought they were the closest thing to palm trees that we had. And I was obsessed with them. I would climb them. This is a mimosa tree, and I got this one from my grandfather's yard right before he passed away. And so I managed to, it's growing up nicely. And so I know they kind of take over, but I love them. So there's the mimosa. We'll come back over here. We have just a little bit of cabbage. I tried some kohlrabi. I think I planted it, well, I know I planted it at the wrong time, so it kind of stunted. This was some leeks over here. Hi, Cleo. These were leeks that I had just bought from the grocery store and used, and then I planted the roots. And so I'm just letting them go to seed to see if I can collect the seeds and maybe plant some more leeks next year. And this little pot is an orange tree from seed, and so I need to replant that, repot it. It's getting big. And then some beans. I can't remember what kind because I thought that my hops had all died, but now the hops are coming back. So thankfully we have hops coming, but I thought they were dead, so I said I'm gonna plant the beans around the trellis. So then I think those are some potatoes, random potatoes. We have our collard greens, some Roma tomatoes that are looking nice, and broccoli. Ooh, this one's starting to ripen. And that Roma, hey Roma. Oh, I forgot, these are persimmons. Got a ladybug on there. I think that's a ladybug. And so got those on native plant sale, along with more loquats. I think those are orange trees too. So, and then we'll loop back around to our basil. And so most of the time, oh yeah, and here's the celery. I did a reel about planting the celery butt, so we're still doing good with our celery butt there. And plenty of basil, a little bit of cilantro. It's past time for that, so I just let it grow out. But I will be back in the kitchen with a new basil recipe for y'all soon, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for going on my plant tour in the backyard. We'll do the front some other time. There's not a whole lot to see there at this point, but for those of you who live locally and you know where my yard is and you're like, what is she doing? When is she gonna do something with that? I'm working on it, okay? So anyway, thanks for coming, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time.